Good morning. I hope everybody is well. So let us read our opening statement together. The Jesus
Christ
consciousness and the head of Lake Temple of Practical
Practical
Christianity. We are open, receptive, responsive, and eager to cooperate with His instruction and guidance.
Let us now speak the words of our meditation theme, which you will find in order of service. Together, God loves me and, understands me. God knows and feels all my needs in order and in harmony. Let us think these words silently. And together again, God loves me and understands me. God knows and feels all my needs in order and in harmony. Please stand and join us in our opening hymn number 305, For the Beauty of the Earth. For the glory of the skies, for the knowledge of And while we remain standing, let us speak the words of our invocation, which you will find in the order of service. Together, my consciousness is a center of divine operation. This divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression, and this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, or something entirely new, not included in past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, since the divine cannot change inherent nature, it must operate in the same manner in me. Consequently, in my own special world, of which I am the center, it will always move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before. It's from Thomas Troward. Please be seated. Welcome, everyone, to Lakeside Temple of Practical Christianity. We have a few announcements today. If you're joining us for the first time, please sign our guest book in the Narths and be sure to include your email address so we can send you a copy of our monthly bulletins. If you have a cell phone, take a moment to silence it. Social Hour is held on the first Sunday of each month or as requested. When it is announced, please do join us downstairs for a light, refreshing meal. Dear members and friends, as our monthly bulletins have noted, the Jesus Christ consciousness is the head of Lakeside Temple of Practical Christianity, and we are welcoming candidates interested in our minister position. Over the past 4 months, the Board of Directors asked for Sunday lesson guest speakers and received an overwhelming amount of support. We thank Unity Ministries, our church community, and colleagues that help spread the word. We had the pleasure of meeting and hosting 7 ordained ministers and licensed teachers. Be sure that our July bulletin, which will be posted on our website at www.lakesidetemple.org and available here next week. In that bulletin, with special guest speakers are listed over the next couple of months. And we urge you, our loyal members and friends, to come in person, meet and greet our guests. Let them know what is in your heart. Reflect what Temple teaches and get to know them as well. God is involved. To affect the quality of the day, that is the highest of arts. It's a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Next Sunday, July 6th, special guest speaker, Reverend Dr. Dahlia Adams' lesson will be entitled Freedom. Our wonderful postlude you heard this morning, titled Lift Every Voice and Sing by J. Rosamond Johnson, Dietrich Air Belding, pianist. The ensemble today is Be Thou My Vision, traditional Irish arranged by Carlton R. Young, with Helen Calhoun, Reverend Jennifer Lilburn, and Melinda McCollister Ho, soloist. Once again, Dietrich L. Belding is the pianist. Immediately following the service today, our postlude will be Always Faithful by John Philip Sousa, arranged for piano by Henry Levine, Dietrich L. Belding, pianist. We request remain seated if you could while the postlude is being played. Thank you so much. Today, we have a special guest speaker, licensed Unity teacher, Pastor Ron Salazar, and his lesson is entitled Consciousness of Joy. The psalm today is Psalm number 19, verse 8. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are radiant, light to the eyes. Thank you.
And so let us prepare for our meditation. And so we can just sit and feel the earth beneath our feet and the pews supporting our bodies as we sit. And just take a couple deep breaths. And we do this to be present. To be present, special moment. And as we move into the silence, we take in knowing that divine spirit is joy to our heart. The divine spirit is joy in our heart. And come back into the room together, knowing that joy is always in our heart. We say the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Leave us not into temptation, and deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you so much for that beautiful music. Good morning. It is really great to be back here at LTPC. I think I got that right. If you missed, my name is Ron Salazar, and I'm a guest speaker here this morning. And as you heard earlier, the talk title for today is A Consciousness of Joy. You know, I turned this title in about 3 weeks ago, and then last weekend happened with all the stuff going on in the Middle East. And for a second, I thought, how can I talk about joy in the middle of what's all going on? Right? And the inspiration that came back to me is that because we are people of consciousness, because we understand that the goodness, that divine spirit, that God is always with us. And it's part of our, well, maybe not part, but it's our spiritual duty. It's our spiritual gift to express that divine source, God, from within us. And so we get to spread it out to the world. And how better to do that than with joy? I mean, how better to heal the world of all uncomfortable stuff, right? And so I decided to talk about joy again. It took a couple days. Decided to do it again. And the thing I'd like to read to you is Charles Fillmore's definition of joy. And if you don't know who Charles Fillmore is, he is a co-founder of the Unity Spiritual Path. And what he says about joy is the happiness of God expressed through his perfect idea, man and woman. Joy and gladness are strength-giving, especially if the mind is fixed on the things of the Spirit. Right? And as a people who practice on a daily basis, be in the consciousness of divine spirit and knowing that is always with us, that's where the joy comes from, right? In Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10, it says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." And in other versions of the Bible, it says, "The joy of my Lord is your strength." Right? And so the joy of the Lord is what we feel when we're conscious of divine spirit within us. We can't help but be joyful. Right? But the trappings of joy can be this, that if the joy we feel doesn't come from that consciousness, it comes from our humanness. And when it comes from our humanness, it's like building a house on sand or building a house in the Berkeley Hills, because the hills are always sliding, right? When I was going to Cal in the early 2000s, I took a course, a science earthquakes. And we used to walk around the neighborhoods, and the professor would point out houses that were falling, their foundations were going because of the unstable hills. And this one house the owner had put his house on pillars, and these pillars were able to move. So every time the hill shifted down and the house would tilt, he could raise these pillars and level the house out. And I said to the professor, "That's a great idea, but at some point, aren't you going to get to the end of the pillars and you're going to be in the same position you were before you put the pillars in?" And That's what happens when our joy comes from humanness, right? It's like if you're feeling bad and you want to be joyful and you have a piece of chocolate cake because of the sugar rush, that only lasts a minute, right? If you go shopping because you're feeling bad and you get that, whatever you go out, you find the perfect thing you want, it only lasts for a little bit, right? But if you go shopping in a consciousness of divine spirit or in God, and you find that special thing that you want, then it's going to be fulfilling because it came from the joy that you are, and not from the joy of your humanness. Jackson, which is one of my favorite writers, has a song called "About My Imagination." And it's about a song about when he grew up in the 60s and the 70s. And this one line says, "It's been so hard to find my way. I let my little pleasures lead my little world astray." Right? And I really love that because that's what it's for me. Right? I mean, that's where my alcoholism came from. Right? Is trying to always feel better. It's trying to always feel better. And what I didn't know when I was addiction, that it was always in me, right? And when I got sober, a couple years after I got sober, I had this vision that for most of my life to that point, I was in a cell in my heart, right? So I'm in this cell and I'm holding onto the bars and I'm watching the world go by. And I really wanted to be part of the world, but I was too fearful, right? I had all those negative thoughts about myself that weren't true, but I believed them. At one moment, I heard the noise behind me, and I turned around, and it's Jesus, because I love Jesus. And I said, "When'd you get here?" He said, "I've been here all the time." And I said, "That's great, but I want out of here." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I want out. I want to go join the world, but I can't." He goes, "Yeah, you can." I said, "No, the door's locked." He says, "No, it's not. Push on it." And I pushed, and the door opened. You know, I had put myself in that prison, right? I'm the one. And when I left, I was so joy-filled, right? Then I was in the world, and I had to become. That's when my journey of consciousness, divine source, began, and it's built ever since. Emily Cady says, if you don't know who Emily Cady is, she's the author of Lessons of Truth, which was his first book. And she says, God is not only the giver, but the gift itself. That means that we are God, gift. So we're not only the giver, we are the gift. Just your presence, being around folks, is a gift. Has anybody ever told you that you're a gift? It's because they feel the essence that you are when you express it, right? And then, or like when you see and they smile, right? It's not fake. It's real. Well, I mean, there may be some people out there who smile and it's fake, but other right, because they're all folks. When we express who we are, the truthfulness of who we are, we can't do anything else but bring joy to other people. She goes on to say, but until in the depths of your being, you are conscious of your oneness with divine spirit until you know within yourself that the spring of all wisdom and health, joy within your being, ready or not, at the moment to leap forth at the call of your need, you will not have spiritual understanding. Right? So you won't understand that the consciousness within you is divine spirit unless you're aware of consciousness within you. And I know that sounds a little convoluted. So I'm up here because I want to share the gift that I've gotten over 40 years, right? And so I know this statement to be true because I live it. And I'm special, but I'm not special, if you know what I mean, right? I don't have anything else anyone else on this planet doesn't. Right? But I know that this statement is true, right? I don't hope that the statement is true. I know it. And if you're here on this day, at some level, you also know it, or you wouldn't be here, right? Because you're beginning to know who you are. You're beginning, or maybe you're not beginning. Maybe you're way from the beginning, but you're still on the path of not knowing what level that you can really reach and understand who you are. Emily goes on to say, the only way oneness has letting us know of its infinite supply and its desire to make it ours is for oneness to push gently on the divine spark living within each of us. So I was afraid to open that prison door until I started to become conscious of who I am. Right? And because of that, I wasn't able to be the gift for the other people in my life because I kept myself shut up. I kept myself out from the world. And if I'm the giver, which I am, as all of you sitting here are, I couldn't give because I was in that cell. So when I was in AA, I learned, I don't know if you know the 12 steps or the 12 steps of AA. The 11th step of the 12 steps says, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood God. It was the beginning. When I read this was the beginning of my consciousness path. And 35 years later, I get to be here in front of you because I am conscious of the goodness that I am, right? And I know that everyone else can have the same path. And in that path, that's where the joy comes from. That's where the joy, we can express the joy through our consciousness. Emily says, while spiritual understanding is in reality a gift from oneness, it comes to us more or less quickly in appropriation as we use the light we already have. In other words, it keeps growing. It just keeps growing. I thought of this this song today by Crosby, Stills and Nash, and it's called Wasted on the Way. And one of the lines says, let me pull it out really quick. I knew it 3 seconds ago. My phone here. It says, I can see my life before me running rings around the way it used to be. Right? Can anybody right? That your life is better than what it used to be, and it's because of our consciousness, of our oneness. And it just keeps getting better, right? I mean, the world stuff keeps happening to us, but we become more solid and more firm or knowing, not our belief in the divine spirit, but the knowing of our divine spirit within us. We all have it, and it's all there. Everybody here who is part of this service, right, is equal in giving the divine spirit within them and giving it out to other people. I'm no different than the musicians, right? They're no different than Althea back. And she's no different than anybody sitting out there who just came to be here. We're all here together, right? We all come together giving our essence of who we are in this devotion or this worship or this recognition of the divineness that is in all of us. That's a divineness, God, love, whatever label you want to put on it. We all here create this. And if you get any inspiration out of today, right, it's not from me, but it's from the essence of what we created together. So how do we receive these divine ideas? We know when we're in consciousness. Well, one of the ways we do that is in meditation. And meditation is really important. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect at meditation. Because every time you go, that's a meditation. If you meditate standing up, if you meditate laying down, if you meditate listening to music, if you meditate by not listening to music, if you meditate by reading words that inspire you, that's all meditation. Those are all avenues to the divine spirit within you. Today, we get to talk about joy. We get to know the feeling of joy. I want to read you a poem by James Dillard Freeman. And if you don't know who he is, excuse me. He's Unity's poet laureate. And so he's written a poem called Life's Child. It goes like this. When I was a schoolboy, I must confess, my favorite subject was recess. And still I did not find it hard to loiter in my heart's schoolyard. Entranced by all the things that are such bright adornments of this star. I pray I shall never be so grown up that the child in me will have no wish to run and play and sing and dance the hours away. Oh my, I sometimes in my mind and live as if I truly were life's child and chief inheritor. Right? So I was young in sobriety back in the 80s and the 90s. A big thing was to work with your inner child. I don't know if that's still a big thing, but what they meant was those feelings of giddiness and happiness and wanting to sing and dance is your inner child. I disagree with that. My inner child grew up a long time ago. And now when I want to dance and sing, when I want to scream because a Niners scored a touchdown, when I have my favorite song and I just want to sing at the top of my lungs, that's not my inner child. That's me, right? Because that inner child, it will always be with me. It is the essence of me. One of my favorite movies is A Christmas Carol. I have like 7 versions that I break out starting around November 1st, and I watch them. And one of them was made in 1951 with Alastair Sims. And as you all know the story about Scrooge, right? He's a real jerk. He doesn't care about anybody. And one night, the ghost of Christmas come and visit him, and he changed his life. And there's a part in the movie where after the ghost of past leaves Scrooge in the graveyard by his grave, and then Scrooge wakes up and he's in his own bedroom. A pure moment of joy for Scrooge. And every actor who plays Scrooge expresses that joy in their own way, right? You can watch all these movies of A Christmas Carol, and each Scrooge has their own moment of joy. Alastair Sims, he has my favorite moment of joy for Scrooge. So he wakes up and he jumps up and he just starts singing. He's just singing, he's happy, he's giddy. And then the maid comes in and she can't figure out what the heck's going on with him. He scares the bejesus out of him. He's just singing and dancing, and he runs in the other room and she runs in the other room, and he starts singing this song. And the song is this. He's jumping around, clapping. He goes, he's just like a child. He says, I don't know anything. I never knew anything. But now I know that I don't know anything all this Christmas morning. Right? And for me, that is an expression of what happened to me when I woke up. As I started to become knowledgeable of the Christ within me, of the goodness within me, of the joy within me, right? I began to know more, right? There's a promise in AA that says we will come to know how to handle situations that used to baffle us. And I thought, great, I'm going to know everything. Well, that's not how it works, right? But what happens is you gain more and more wisdom. You gain more spiritual wisdom, more spiritual insight, more spirit understanding. That's called spiritual maturity. And we all receive that. We all receive that whenever we take a little more step on, or a big step on our conscious path to the divine spirit within us. It is so nice to know that it can always get better. It is always nice to know that lives can be more joyful on Tuesday than it was on Monday. Our lives can be more joyful on Thursday than it was on Tuesday. Right? And it's so joyful to know that when life happens and you feel no joy at all, that the joy that you are is still there. It's just hidden or covered. Right? And the more we practice our coming of age in our spiritual, the more we practice what brings us to our consciousness, the more joy we will feel in our lives and have in our lives. And the most important thing is that we get to spread that joy out to other people. Your joy is the most important thing on this planet. Your joy is the most important gift you can give anybody. Okay, I'm going to ask for smiles here. I don't see too many smiles out there right now. We're talking joy. We're talking joy, down in my heart, right? So I want to ask something today. I want you to do something today. I want you to feel the true joy that you are and take it and spread it today out in the world. If it's one person, if it's a dog, if it's 10 people, if it's a cat, I don't care. Any being on this planet today, just do that for yourselves. Do that for me, because it'll make me joyful to know that there's people out there spreading who they are. Right? Can you do that for me? Is there anybody out there? Can you do that? Can you spread joy today? Yes. Okay, let's do it again. Can you spread joy today? Yes. All right, one more. Can you spread joy today? Yes. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for adding joy to our beautiful planet, which needs all the joy it can get right now. Right? And it's not shifting sand joy. It's solid, pure, divine spirit, God, Jesus joy. When you walk out this joy. Thank you so much for listening. Be at peace.
Well, thank you very much for that joyous lesson today. Thank you very much. And now is the time to bless our offering. Together, the aspect of my nature that is divine love is activated in giving. It blesses and multiplies my offering to this Christ ministry, and all who receive its ministry are blessed, illumined, healed, and prospered. Please join as we sing hymn number 3, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God as our presence family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yeah, please begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it together with me. Father, Mother God, we acknowledge this offering as the very substance of your being, created for our use before the beginning of the world. We know that it has been shaped and formed in our thoughts and in our hearts, and it has come into manifestation through our words and our outer activities. Now within this, your ministry with your blessing upon it, and it moves in and through this ministry with your blessing upon it. And I'm sorry. And it moves through this ministry to establish the consciousness of your presence, the consciousness of your kingdom, the consciousness of the earth. Then, according to your perfect law, it returns to each giver, heaped up, pressured down, shaken together, and running over. For our increasing understanding of this, your law, we do thanks. Amen.
Please turn to our closing hymn, number 33, Keep the Heart Singing.
Heaven share with their we may sound in night with a halo of delight. If we keep the heart singing all the while, keep the heart singing all the while. Make the world brighter with a smile. Keep the song ringing all the hours make it bright. If we keep the heart singing all the while. His love is in the soul, and we yield to his control. Sweetest music, we ride the clouds away, cheer and bless the darkest day. If we keep the heart singing all the while. Keep the heart singing all the while. Make the world brighter with a smile. Keep the heart ringing on the hours may beguile. If we keep the heart singing all the while. Well, the chair. keep the heart with a smile. Keep the song ringing on, hours may beguile. If we keep the heart singing all the while.
Time now for our benediction.
Sorry, I'm wrong.
Yes, you will give the benediction.
Oh, the benediction.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Today's benediction. The Christ within me, my own I am. Power of spiritual strength, steadfast and stability. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The wisdom of God guides me and directs me. The substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me. The power of God protects me, and the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
One more time. The last sentence. One more time. Wherever
I am, God.
God is,
Oh,
and all is well.
I'll get it.
Yes. Thank you.
That's what they said. Oh, John, thank you. I love this. I love it. Yes. So when you guys on your way to? Huh? Jordan? Yeah, girl, you got a shot. No. Oh, I heard that. You don't go to Walmart? Okay, well, I'll see you when I see you, honey. And tell Mama thank you. Okay. It'll be okay. Just a little tender. It sounds like I'm used to go to certain it's a Sousa march. Yeah, John Philip Sousa march. And you know, and somebody wrote it in the piano.